It is 6 o'clock. Good morning. Thank you for being with us on THV 11, streaming on THV 11 Plus. I'm Karen Fuller.
I'm Hayden Balgavy. Let's send it over to meteorologist Tracy Bean joining us with another check of your forecast for this Friday.
Well, at least we've got a little bit of a break in the clouds, right? There's been so much rain and we needed it. We just didn't need it all at once. Unfortunately, that's unfortunately the way it works sometimes. But we will see a few showers and thunderstorms today, not nearly as widespread as what we saw yesterday, which is really good news. Out in the capital city to 72. That light rain's kind of moved on a little bit, but I bet you're still having to use those windshield wipers just a little bit. And the winds are at least moving around with that humidity around 97%. We need something. Now, your daily planner for today, again, there will be a few chances for some of those showers and storms, especially as we're heading into the heat of the afternoon. Some could be heavy at times, but right now we are again watching areas right around here in the River Valley. We've got some areas that are seeing these flash flood warnings, continuing to watch a few of these counties as well. Now, that's going to be until 8:30 this morning for Logan, Perry, Pope, and Yale counties. We're seeing, again, lots of rain in that area already over the last 24 to 48 hours, and now we've got those storms just kind of camping out there this morning. So across the state, though, not a lot of activity going on. Again, here in central Arkansas, just a few light showers pushing through, and wouldn't surprise me if you see a few of those as we're heading into, again, the commuting time, but shouldn't be too terrible. But these are our rainfall totals, and you see those are all those colors on that far end, and we've even got a few areas that got over 6 inches. We'll talk more about all of that coming up in our full forecast.
An investigation is now underway this morning in Dallas following a deadly explosion at an apartment building linked to a gas leak. At least 3 people are now confirmed dead and several others are hurt. The blast leveled a 2-story building on Thursday afternoon. Crews rushing to the scenes after reports of that gas leak, but officials say the explosion hit just moments later. A massive fire response followed as flames and thick smoke poured from the collapsed building. More than 100 firefighters spent hours searching through the debris for possible survivors.
We do not have any information with regard to residents accounted for or unaccounted for. And I'll just put it to you this way. Our operation with regard to recovery does not end until the entire building has been searched.
Officials say neighboring homes were also evacuated while crews remained on the scene through the night as the search and investigation continues.
A powerful new Glenn rocket owned by the Jeff Bezos company Blue Origin sustained an anomaly during a ground test in Florida. Take a look at this. You can see the video shows the test site and an explosion on the launch pad during a hot fire test Thursday. Bezos says all personnel are safe. Crews are now working to figure out what caused the failure. The setback comes only weeks after the rocket's most recent flight failed to place a satellite into orbit. Happening here at home, a major twist in the data center debate in Pulaski County. That proposed one-year moratorium is no longer moving forward after a vote count error.
The county clerk now says she made a mistake and that the measure actually failed to get enough support to pass. Clerk Terry Hollingsworth acts as the secretary during those meetings. The original count showed 10 votes in favor, but one justice of the peace was incorrectly recorded and had actually voted present.
That dropped the total below the 2/3 majority required for an emergency ordinance. The proposal would have temporarily paused new data center projects as county leaders continue debating future regulations and impacts on the community. Nearly 700 new affordable housing units are coming to Arkansas after the state secured $13.3 million in federal tax credits. The Arkansas Development Finance Authority says the funding will support affordable housing projects across the state, including 5 developments planned in Pulaski County. Officials say the credits will help drive more than $133 million in long-term housing investments. A list of all the places receiving the funding can be found on our website, thv11.com.
A major legal fight is heating up. Republican attorneys general in Nebraska, Indiana, and Louisiana have now filed a federal lawsuit over the Trump administration's push to reclassify marijuana. The proposed change would move marijuana from Schedule 1 in the same category as heroin and LSD to Schedule 3 alongside some prescription medications. Opponents argue that could open the door to broader legalization and make it harder for states to challenge medical marijuana laws. That case is now combined with a separate lawsuit filed by an anti-marijuana advocacy group. A possible ceasefire extension between the U.S. and Iran could be coming up. In Washington today, Secretary of State Marco Rubio meets with Pakistani officials as Pakistan helps mediate the talks. Sources say negotiations reached a tentative deal yesterday. Both sides now reviewing it, pending President Trump's approval. CBS News correspondent Jared Hill has the latest.
Today, possible progress in the war with Iran. A tentative deal to extend the ceasefire awaits approval from Tehran and President Trump.
I think it's hard to say exactly when or if the president's going to sign the MOU.
Vice President J.D. Vance speaking on the Memorandum of Understanding. It would stretch the ceasefire for another 60 days while the two countries kickstart new talks over Iran's nuclear program and its stockpile of enriched uranium.
Even if you come to an agreement on, let's say, destroying the enriched stockpile, how do you do it? When do you do it? How do you actually get access to it? We're not there yet, but we're very close.
A major sticking point, reopening the Strait of Hormuz. Iran reportedly fired on multiple ships that were attempting to cross the critical waterway this week. Tehran has also proposed implementing a toll, a non-starter for the White House.
Navigation of the seas has to be free and open as it was before, so he's not going to take a bad deal.
The Treasury Department continues to squeeze Iran financially, Thursday announcing new sanctions on several Hong Kong-based companies and vessels that allegedly helped transport Iranian oil. Now, 3 months into the war, the Trump administration maintains the fragile ceasefire is holding, even though this week the U.S. launched 2 strikes on Iranian military sites. Iran says it targeted an American base in retaliation, though there are no reports that a U.S. base was actually hit. The Pentagon said Kuwait had successfully intercepted an Iranian missile Thursday. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Inflation picked up again in April, hitting its highest level in nearly 3 years. The latest personal consumption expenditures index rose to 3.8%, driven largely by higher oil prices tied to the war in Iran. Meanwhile, consumer spending slowed sharply after a stronger gain the month before. Factoring in inflation, it only went up 0.1%. Let's talk more numbers with meteorologist Tracy Bean and the forecast to find out how hot it should be today, how humid it should be, all those good things.
There's so many questions. We've got humidity, we've got rain totals, we've got the commute. How is it going? Commute's going fine here in Central Arkansas. I wanted to show you the 430 River Bridge. We do have a little patchy fog out there, but people are moving along nicely and no accidents and no delays. And as far as the weather goes, we will see a few of those spotty showers and a few storms rolling through. Predominantly, I think this afternoon we could see a bit of those heavier rain showers, looking for that high in the low 80s. We received quite a bit of rain, of course, here in Central Arkansas, especially in the North Pulaski area. We're currently watching the River Valley again around Russellville area, still seeing that heavier rain push through there. But tomorrow, I think we're all going to get a little bit of a break. There will be a few scattered showers and storms, but certainly much, much less than what we've seen the last couple of days.